सबको सादर नमस्ते जी। Today is Monday, November the 3rd, 2025. We will start our session on Sandhya Upasana and Mantra Swadhyaya. आप सभी लोगों का बहुत बहुत स्वागत है जो हमारे साथ जूम से या फिर सोशल मीडिया से जुड़े हुए हैं। And this program is being brought to you courtesy of आर्य प्रतिनिधि सभा अमेरिका। हमारे आज के स्पीकर हैं आचार्य वरुण देव जी फ्रॉम आर्य समाज इन सियाटल। नमस्ते आचार्य जी, आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है संध्या सेशन में। आज संध्या से स्टार्ट करिए प्लीज।
नमस्ते जी, धन्यवाद। भल्ला जी, सभी को सादर नमस्ते। आइए हम आज का सत्र आरंभ करें। ईश्वर की उपासना में लग्न हो, मन को समाहित कर लें, सभी प्रकार के सांसारिक विषयों से मन को हटा लें, क्योंकि जब तक मन संसार में लगा है तब तक ईश्वर में लगना असंभव है। संसार के गुण, इस प्रकृति के गुण ईश्वर के गुणों से विपरीत हैं। ईश्वर त्रिगुणातीत है, सत्व रजस तमस तीनों गुणों से परे है। ईश्वर शुद्ध है, नित्य है। ईश्वर सृष्टि करता है। इसीलिए हमें केवल मात्र ईश्वर की शरण में जाकर ईश्वर के सानिध्य को प्राप्त कर सभी प्रकार की अविद्या, क्लेश, दुखों को दूर करने का एकमात्र साधन हमारे परम पिता परमात्मा ही हैं। तो आइए विश्वास के साथ एवं भक्ति के साथ, समर्पण भाव के साथ आज की उपासना संध्या का सत्र आरंभ करें। अथ ब्रह्म यज्ञ। 3 बार लंबा गहरा श्वास लेकर ओम की ध्वनि का उच्चारण करते हुए ओ ओ ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ शन्नो देवीरभिष्टय आपो भवन्तु पीतये संयोरभिस्रवन्तु नः। ॐ वाक् वाक्, ॐ प्राणः प्राणः, ॐ चक्षुः चक्षुः, ॐ श्रोत्रं श्रोत्रम्, ॐ नाभिः, ॐ हृदयम्, ॐ कण्ठः, ॐ शिरः, ॐ बाहुभ्यां यशोबलम्, ॐ करतलकरपृष्ठे, ॐ भुः पुनातु शिरसि, ॐ भुवः पुनातु नेत्रयोः, ॐ स्वः पुनातु कण्ठे, ॐ महः पुनातु हृदये, ॐ जनः पुनातु नाभ्याम्, ॐ तपः पुनातु पादयोः, ॐ सत्यं पुनातु पुनः शिरसि, ॐ खं ब्रह्म पुनातु सर्वत्र, ॐ भुः ॐ भुवः ॐ स्वः ॐ महः ॐ जनः ॐ तपः ॐ सत्यम् ॐ ऋतं च सत्यं चाभिद्धात्तपसोऽध्यजायत ततो रात्र्यजायत ततः समुद्रो अर्णवः ॐ समुद्रादर्णवादधी संवत्सरो अजायत अहोरात्राणि विदधद्विश्वस्य मिषतो वशी ॐ सूर्याचन्द्रमसौ धाता यथा पूर्वमकल्पयत् दिवं च पृथिवीं चान्तरिक्षमथो स्वः ॐ शन्नो देवीरभिष्टय आपो भवन्तु पीतये संयोरभिस्रवन्तु नः ॐ प्राचीदिगग्निरधिपतिरसितो रक्षितादित्या ईशवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नम ईशुभ्यो नमएभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान्द्वेष्टियं वयं दिश्मस्तं वोजम्भे दध्मः ॐ दक्षिणादिगिन्द्रोऽधिपतिस्थिरश्चिराजीरक्षिता पितर ईशवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नम ईशुभ्यो नमएभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान्द्वेष्टियं वयं विश्मस्तं वोजम्भे दध्मः ॐ प्रतीचीदिग्वरुणोऽधिपतिः प्रीदाकुरक्षितान्नमिषवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नम ईशुभ्यो नमएभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान्द्वेष्टियं वयं दिश्मस्तं वोजम्भे दध्मः ॐ उदीचीदिक्सोमोऽधिपतिः स्वजो रक्षिता शनिरिषवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नम ईशुभ्यो नमएभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान्द्वेष्टियं वयं दिश्मस्तं वोजम्भे दध्मः ॐ ध्रुवादिग्विष्णुरधिपतिः कल्माषग्रीवो रक्षिता वीरुध ईशवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नम ईशुभ्यो नमएभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान्द्वेष्टियं वयं दिश्मस्तं वोजम्भे दध्मः ॐ ऊर्ध्वादिग्बृहस्पतिरधिपतिः श्वित्रो रक्षिता वर्षमीशवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नम ईशुभ्यो नमएभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान्द्वेष्टियं वयं दिश्मस्तं वोजम्भे दध्मः ॐ उद्वयं तमसस्परिस्वः पश्यन्त उत्तरम् देवं देवत्रा सूर्यमगन्मज्योतिरुत्तमम् ॐ जातवेदसं देवं वहन्ति केतवः दृशे विश्वाय सूर्यम् ॐ चित्रं देवानामुदगादनीकं चक्षुर्मित्रस्य वरुणस्याग्नेः आप्राद्या वा पृथिवी अन्तरिक्षं सूर्य आत्मा जगतस्तस्थुषश्च स्वाहा ॐ तच्चक्षुर्देवहितं पुरस्ताच्छुक्रमुच्चरत् पश्येम शरदाः शतं जीवेम शरदाः शतं शृणुयाम शरदाः शतं प्रब्रवाम शरदाः शतमदीनाः स्याम शरदाः शतं भूयश्च शरदाः शतात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् हे ईश्वर दयानिधे भवत्कृपयानेन जपोपासनादिकर्मणा धर्मार्थकाममोक्षाणां सद्यः सिद्धिर्भवेन्नः ॐ नमः शम्भवाय च मयो भवाय च नमः शङ्कराय च मयस्कराय च नमः शिवाय च शिवतराय च ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। एक मिनट दीजिएगा।
एक मिनट में आपको कोर्स बना दूं।
जी
आप कोर्स है, यू कैन नाउ दी।
ठीक है, एक मिनट, ये थोड़ा समय ले रहा है फाइल खुलने में। In our mantra Swadhyaya series of Aaryabhivinaya Granth, in our last session, we did Swadhyaya of a seventh mantra of Dvitiya Prakash, the mantra for a prayer for fearlessness in our life. And today is also very popular mantra, very powerful, significant decree of Paramatma to all the Jivatma, and from the Purusha Sukta, Yajurveda Adhyay 31st, mantra 18th. This mantra indeed is, if we contemplate on this mantra, this Richa of Yajurveda fills our consciousness with full of confidence in the divine consciousness. It is a surety that if we follow the Ved Marg, Shreya Marg, then what will be the result? So let's first chant the mantra, and then we will go to the Padarth, and we will try to enter into the consciousness of the mantra. Om Vedahametam Purusham Mahantamadityavarnam Tamasah Parastat Tameva VIDYTVAATI MRITYUMETI NAANYAH PANTHAA VIDYATE-YANAAYA. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So this mantra from Yajurveda, and if we look at the mantra, starts with the word Ved. Ved Aham. So basically, Paramatma is declaring in this message, in this divine message through this mantra, that the one who knows the Paramatma, who knows the Swarup of Paramatma, who realizes that divine consciousness, then what is the result and how is the Swarup, how is the nature of that Paramatma. So Ved Aham. So this Aham is for that enlightened one, the one who knows, who realizes Paramatma. Vedaham, Vedaham, Etam. Etam, this supreme being. Who is that? Purusham. The all-pervading, that divine, supreme consciousness. This word is also used, the same word Purush, for the Jivatma. And we all know this very familiar word Puri, means Nagari. Jivatma lives, dwells into this Puri of this Sharir. That is why it is called Purusha. And Paramatma is pervading and residing, dwelling everywhere into this entire whole Brahmand. Even we can say that this entire cosmos, universe, is in the Garbh of Paramatma. And also Paramatma is in this world, in this universe. So that is why Paramatma is all-pervading Purusha. And how is that Paramatma? Mahantam. Mahantam, the greatest. The one, there is nothing which can be equal to the Paramatma, to that divine consciousness, that supreme Lord, that Parameshwar. That is called, we always call him Param Ishwar. Ishwar, Lord, the Lord of all universe, the Lord of everything. That Paramatma is Mahantam. Mahantam in all sense, in Anand, Mahantam in consciousness, in his power, energy, not the physical one, but his willpower with which he moves everything. Everything in this entire universe taking shape, moving, is all because of that Mahantam Purusha. Because if we just look at the universe, the galaxies, these complex system even of our body, how every particle, atom is moving in our body, in the cell. So it shows that in this, that is why it is called Jagat, that Paramatma is making everything move in order to create the system. So that Paramatma is Mahantam in all sense, in all guna. And on the other side, whatever is dosh, Paramatma is not even 1% any dosh in Paramatma. Sometimes Jivatma has so many, we can say, false identities, vritti. We identify ourselves very easily with the mind, life, and body. And it takes time with the consistent efforts of yoga abhyas to get rid of all this complex trapping and then go beyond this system. But Paramatma is already transcendent. And how is that Paramatma? Aditya-Varnam. That Varnam, Aditya means Surya, the sun. And Varnam in Sanskrit, basically it is color. But Paramatma is self-effulgent, brilliant, radiant. It is a drishtant. It is we can say, a word to make us understand that how that Paramatma is, who has illuminated even the sun. This is a drishtant, and drishtant can never be equal to its Swadhyaya. And we all know, many of us might know how we fit the different meaning, the system of deriving the meaning from the words, like Abhidha, Lakshana, and Vyanjana. So the same way, we should not think Paramatma is like the sun in the physical sense. It is only to make us understand that Paramatma is Tejasvi, self-effulgent, that like sun does not need the help of any other star in order to illuminate itself, self-luminous. So the Paramatma, who is the source of all light, the source of this creation, Nimitta Karan, that Paramatma is like that radiant sun. And what does sun signifies? The light. And light means knowledge. And ignorance means darkness. That is why we pray Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya. In that mantra, we are aspiring to move from darkness to light. We are asking Paramatma to lead us from darkness to light. It does not mean the physical darkness, it means the darkness of ignorance. If we look at our life, if we don't have proper knowledge of anything we are using, we could not use it in its optimum capacity. But only when we have the right way of using and knowing everything, then having known about that object gives us that potential to use it in its maximum upakar. Tamasah. So from darkness, PARASTAAT, that Paramatma Purush is beyond, transcending that from darkness. And this darkness, again, as mentioned, this darkness is not the physical darkness, but the ignorance, avidya, ajnana. That is the root of all the suffering in our life. And we can see how the mantra is arranged for us, for the Jivatma, that we can get connected with it instantly. Then the second half of the mantra, tam eva, tameva. Tam eva, that Paramatma alone, him alone, that Paramatma alone, Purusha alone. VIDYATE-YANAAYA, Viditva, having known or realized. Ati mrityum eti, one who practices, who knows that Paramatma, realizes that truth, consciousness, supreme consciousness, that consciousness which is beyond the darkness, transcendent, the one self-effulgent, radiant, the source of all knowledge, that Paramatma, after having known that Paramatma, one crosses beyond the death and this mortality. One becomes free, and freedom means immortality. NAANYAH PANTHAA VIDYATE-YANAAYA. NAANYAH, there is no other pantha, path. Vidyate is there for ayanaya, for liberation. Ayan, we know this word ayan. Ayan is our spherical movement from one point and coming back to the same point. That is called ayan. Like Earth is moving on her orbit, and it is called Dakshinayan, Uttarayan. Why? Because ayan means it will come to the same point. It's circular motion. And Ramayana. So this Avagaman Chakra, that is why this word is used ayanaya. From this Avagaman, one gets liberation. There's no other path for liberation to get rid of, and there's no other way around except this, to know the Paramatma, to realize the Paramatma, and to become free, to liberate moksha. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. That moksha is only possible, that liberation, the ultimate liberation is only possible, that freedom is only possible if we are dedicated towards the knowledge of Paramatma. But that knowledge is not the knowledge of the informative knowledge only, the knowledge, only the verbal knowledge, the knowledge only in our mind, which is not reflecting in our heart, not reflecting in our consciousness, which we have not processed into ourself and has become part of our behavior. Because if we look at our life practically, whatever we believe, whatever we feel, like someone who the favorite dish for someone is, suppose, any sweet, that sweet someone will always try to get when someone gets the chance. The same way in our life, if Paramatma has become for us the motive of life, our destination, our goal, our aim, and we have made that goal consciously with full of awareness, only then we will move towards it. Otherwise, it will be only like for most of the people, to reading, studying, and all these things are just pastime. Okay, our preoccupation is business, our preoccupation is this, my job, my this, that. Okay, that is good. Everyone should fulfill the duties one has got in the life. But all the especially those who are connected with the Veda, they should clarify and determine in themselves that my goal of life is to realize the Paramatma. And someone who has not made this goal yet, which means there is no other way to get liberated from this chakra, this avagaman chakra, this ayana. So that is the significant mantra, very crucial mantra. When I was a small child, Swami Satyapati Ji in his pravachan, in his that morning sessions, evening sessions of yoga abhyas, he used to just concentrate on the mantra, contemplate on the mantra, on this same mantra, and he used to sing like this: VEDAAHAMETAM PURUSHAM MAHAANTAM ADITYAVARNAM TAMASAH PARASTAAT TAMEVA VIDITVAATI MRITYUMETI NAANYAH PANTHAA VIDYATE-YANAAYA. So these mantra like these should become our daily practices. This mantra is like a surety, a declaration, a decree from the divine, that if you will choose the divine, Paramatma, then you will surely get liberated from this avagamana ayan. So let's read now, do Swadhyaya of the Maharshi Dayanand Ji Krit Vyakhyan. सहस्र शीर्षादि विशेषणोक्त पुरुष सर्वत्र परिपूर्ण पूर्णात्वात् पुरीशयनात्वा पुरुष इति निरुक्तोक्ते वेदाहमेत है वेदाहमेतम पुरुषम, उस पुरुष को मैं जानता हूं, अर्थात सब मनुष्यों को उचित है कि उस परमात्मा को अवश्य जाने, उसको कभी न भूलें, अन्य किसी को ईश्वर न जाने। वह कैसा है? महानतम, बड़ों से भी बड़ा, उससे बड़ा व तुल्य कोई नहीं है। आदित्य वर्णम, आदित्य का रचक और प्रकाशक, वही एकमात्र, वही एक परमात्मा है, तथा वह सदा स्वप्रकाश स्वरूप ही है। किंच तमसः परस्तात्, तम जो अंधकार अविद्यादि दोष उससे रहित है, रहित ही है, तथा स्वभक्त धर्मात्मा सत्य प्रेमी जनों को भी अविद्या आदि दोष रहित सद्य करने वाला वही परमात्मा है। विद्वानों का ऐसा निश्चय है कि परब्रह्म के ज्ञान और उसकी कृपा के बिना कोई जीव कभी सुखी नहीं होता। तमेव विदित्वेत्यादि, उस परमात्मा को जान के ही जीव मृत्यु का उल्लंघन कर सकता है, अन्यथा नहीं। क्योंकि नान्यः पंथा विद्यते यनाय, बिना परमेश्वर की भक्ति और उसके ज्ञान के मुक्ति का मार्ग कोई नहीं है, ऐसी परमात्मा की दृढ़ आज्ञा है। सब मनुष्यों को इसमें ही वर्तना चाहिए और सब पाखंड और जंजाल अवश्य छोड़ देने चाहिए। So this is the declaration from the Parameshwar himself, that only Paramatma, the realization in the Samadhi, there is no other way to transcend the death, to be immortal. If we want to be immortal, if we want to get free, then this resolution we should take in our life now, that every time we have to remember that I have to realize the Paramatma. We have to realize the Paramatma through yoga abhyas. Now the English version. The Purusha, the Supreme Being, Sahasra, Shirshadi, Visheshanokta Purusha. The one with countless heads, eyes and feet is all pervading and complete in every respect. Because of his all perfection and his being the indweller of all creation, he is called Purusha. As explained in the Nirukta Vedic etymology. VEDAAHAMETAM PURUSHAM. I know that Supreme Being. This means every human being ought to strive to understand that Supreme Self, never forget him and never regard anyone else as Ishwar. What is he like? He is Mahantam, greater than the greatest. There is none equal to him, none higher than him. He is Varunam, the creator of the sun and the source of all light and knowledge. He is eternally self-luminous, shining by his own glory, and he is TAMASAH PARASTAAT, beyond all darkness, ignorance, and imperfection. He is ever pure, untouched by delusion or sin. Moreover, he dispels the darkness of ignorance even from the hearts of his devotees, the righteous scholars and truth-loving souls. Make them pure and enlightened. The wise firmly hold that no soul can ever attain true happiness without knowledge of the Supreme Being and his grace. Hence, as declared in the Veda, TAMEVA VIDYTVAATI MRITYUMETI, only by knowing that Supreme Being can the soul transcend death and mortality. Otherwise, it cannot. For, as the Veda proclaims, NAANYAH PANTHAA VIDYATE-YANAAYA, there is no other path to liberation apart from the knowledge and devotion of the Supreme Lord. Such is the divine decree of the Paramatma. Therefore, all human beings must walk this sacred path, renouncing every form of hypocrisy, superstition, and delusion. Only in this lies the fulfillment of human life. What a wonderful explanation, devotional explanation. Everyone of this mantra should read, do the Swadhyaya, and make this mantra the part of life, the daily life. VEDAAHAMETAM PURUSHAM MAHAANTAMAADITYAVARNAM TAMASAH PARASTAAT TAMEVA VIDYTVAATI MRITYUMETI NAANYAH PANTHAA VIDYATE-YANAAYA. So what are the takeaways today from this mantra? In short, first, the strong determination in oneself with the mantra. Whenever there is a tiny possibility of doubt, because we are living in this gross physical environment where the majority are living in their most external life, believing that only the soul reality, the Paramatma, which is the most supreme reality of this entire universe, of this creation. And by forgetting that supreme reality, how can we be in this superficial life, be happy? There is no way. There is only way of peace and happiness in this world, to not only to believe in Paramatma, but with our, like Maharshi Dayanand in his life, he realized Paramatma, सच्चे शिव की खोज में जो वो निकले थे, that he realized in his lifetime and he got liberated. He was living in the Jivan Mukt Avastha. He had no attachment with whatsoever in the world. He was only doing the job of Paramatma to propagate the knowledge of the Veda, the eternal knowledge of the Veda. So that can only be there when we know that the sun of all knowledge is a beam. When we consider Paramatma as the sun of all the knowledge, a greatness without whom no life could be. That Param Shakti, that Paramatma, Parameshwar, is the source of all life and happiness and knowledge. When we have this deeply enrooted in our life, in our mind, then surely our goal of life is Paramatma. And when we have made that goal, then to practice, to do the yoga abhyas is our duty. Like someone starts a new business, the duty of that person to run the business successfully. If we have made this goal of our life, that Paramatma is the source of all happiness, and we cannot transcend death without knowing and without realizing the Paramatma, then this is our prime duty to always remember this truth, that Paramatma is within us, pervading everywhere, and only what we have to do, we need only to concentrate, do the Ashtanga Yoga, practice it sincerely. Yam, Niyam, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi, and reach that sopan, that step of Samadhi, where we will realize the Paramatma. So this is the, I must say, the spiritual essence of the yoga abhyas. So thank you everyone. Let me stop sharing and then we do Shanti part. Om Dyahu Shantirantarikshaṃ Shantehi Prithivi Shantirapah Shantiroshadhayah Shantihi Vanaspatayah Shantirvishve Devah Shantirbrahma Shantihi Sarvam Shantihi Shantireva Shantihi Sama Shantiredhi. Om Shantihi Shantihi Shantihi.